Welcome to Calgary Conversations, a podcast of the City of Calgary where we aim to have frank conversations with city leaders about the issues and topics impacting Calgarians.
Please stand behind the yellow line.
My name is Jose Rodriguez. I am the leader of Media Relations and Employee Communications at the City, and I'm happy to be your host. Welcome back to Calgary Conversations. And today we're very fortunate to get the 411 on 311 with the 311 acting manager, Patty Scott. So Patty, welcome.
Hi, Jose. Thank you.
So can you tell us maybe what exactly do you do at 311?
I am fortunate enough to work with some very wonderful people who ensure that the service is available for citizens to call in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
That's a lot. That's a long time.
It is a long time.
Now, I was doing a little bit of research before this, and I think it's the 20th anniversary of 311. And I believe our 311 was the first in the country, and we took like 500 different phone lines and brought them into one sort of central clearing house. You must be very proud, 20 years.
You know, our team is very proud of the services that we offer. And it's true, we had 500 different phone lines that now all report to 311. We launched May 18th, 2005. And with that, it created one single phone call for citizens to call to report concerns or to request information. Right from day one, our mandate was that we would be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, that you would be able to talk to an actual live person. And since that time, we actually have been able to incorporate 300 different languages in our translation services.
Wow. Spanish is one of them, I hope.
Spanish is one of them, that's for sure.
Nice. Now, it's not just a phone line anymore, is it? Because I've gone online and those 311 maps are incredible, right? It's more than just a phone service.
Yeah, it's true. It is more than just a phone service. We also have a 311 mobile app where citizens can download the app to their smartphone, and citizens can report a concern. They can describe the concern. They can add the location. The SR is directly routed to the business unit for the business unit to follow up on.
Now, SR, for those of us who don't speak city,
yes,
is service request.
That is a service request. That's correct. Every time a service request is created for 311, it's there forever. We have service requests that go back to May 18th, 2005 in our system. So it can never be deleted. It's a record that we always have.
And it must be a great reference point too, right? Because you must see the same things come up at different intervals.
We really do. And part of that is through our dashboard as well. So we have dashboards on calgary.ca that are available for citizens and the public to view. And you can see how it is that we are honoring our obligations.
So now 311, city of 1.7 million almost. How many calls do you get and how many people does it take to answer those calls?
Last year in 2024, we took 944,440 calls.
That's a lot of calls.
It's a lot of calls, yes. And so our call center, we have 50 full-time agents and 45 on-call agents. But it's not just the agents that make up 311. We also have business advisors who work with the business units in order to ensure that the 311 agents have the most correct and updated information. We also have trainers who train the 311 agents and anyone who uses the 311 system. And we even have measurements analysts. They're the people who put together the dashboards that are available on calgary.ca. This year, we launched the 311 Ambassador Program. So the Ambassador Program is where Calgarians can invite 311 representatives to their community event. So we can go, we can show you how to use the app, we can describe what the agents' jobs are and what they do.
So there's work. You're not looking for a free community party, are you?
No, nothing like that.
I meant to go work for 311.
No, we're just really there to represent 311 and the city. Some of the recent events that we've been to have been for community open houses and also for a job fair. So it's interesting. Citizens can come in and ask us questions. And yes, we're real life people. So we'll give you real life answers.
You're not AI.
We're not AI. So the ambassador program can be requested by calling 3-in-1, or you can go into calgary.ca and request it through our service request there.
One of the things a lot of people may not know is that our call center is actually right here in Calgary.
Yes, it's true. Actually, our offices are located right here in Calgary. They're staffed by Calgarians, and we answer questions for Calgarians. Our commitment to innovation and services is one of the reasons that Calgary 3-in-1 is a leader in national services and customer service.
And I understand that you actually tour some international 311 centers through here because you're so well respected.
It's amazing the different countries and companies that would like to come and see 3-in-1. We tour quite a few people through, actually.
I've been fortunate enough to sit in at 311 with a headphone. You have the entire city at your fingertips when it comes to information, right?
We really do, yes.
What feeds all that? What is all the stuff that you're looking at?
Yes, so the platform that we use, it's kind of like Google, but for the city of Calgary. And so agents are trained to take every single different type of call that we have. So the first call of the day could be about a lost dog. Mm-hmm. The second one could be about a sewer break. And the third one could be about a pothole. The agents are trained to enter the information into the system. And our database is so smart, it brings back all the details that the agent would need in order to service the citizen.
Wow, it's kind of a cool machine.
It really is. It used to be that we were on paper. Thank goodness we're not anymore.
We're just handing each other notes.
Exactly. That's right. Yes.
That's pretty good. Nice. So what are the most common calls you get?
So some people call us the complaint line, but really 3-in-1 is more than that. We are there to assist citizens in their day-to-day lives. So people will call in to maybe report a concern that they see on the street, maybe a pothole. They also call us for general information. So parents really want to know what time the pools are open so they can send their kids for lane swim. We're also there to help citizens know where to put their yogurt container. How do you recycle that? So those are some of the calls that we take.
It's got to make you feel good, solving people's problems.
You know, most days the agents will go home with a smile on their face and a hop in their step. It's really nice to know that we're there to assist citizens with their general questions.
And you know what? It's one of those things where you go home after a day of work and you've crossed off a lot of to-dos, right? There's jobs where you go into work and the ball moves very slowly. I think at 311, you folks are chalking up a whole bunch of chicks by the end of every day.
Yeah, things change fast at 3-in-1. If a business unit changes a program, then we have to be reactive to that. And all of our agents need to have that information. And so, it's never a dull moment at 3-in-1.
Nice. And now I'm assuming some of the calls you get are cyclical, right? Like different things happen at different times of the year. Can you speak to that maybe a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So spring and summer means that more people are outside and they see the potholes, they see the grass that needs to be cut. And so people call us and they'll let us know, which is great. In June, property taxes are due. So calls go up, during that time for sure. In the wintertime, most people are staying inside and they're hibernating. So we don't get the call volume in the winter like we do in the summertime. But people still call in to say this road needs to be plowed or there's an icy sidewalk at this location.
Okay, so I'm calling 311. Mm-hmm. How long am I going to wait before I actually speak to an agent?
In 2024, our average wait time was 348 seconds for a citizen to actually speak to an agent.
348 seconds. How much is that in minutes?
It's almost 6 minutes.
I'm just trying to do the math.
So through some education and training with our team, our average wait time is now only 39 seconds.
Wow.
And so that also depends on what time you call. If you call during the day, then your wait time will be a little bit longer. If you call in the morning or evening, it could be a little bit shorter. The average wait time is calculated over a 24-hour period. So that's how that works.
If I remember right, there was a council directive to bring that 300 seconds down. It sounds like you guys hit it out of the park.
We've dropped it a lot. And kudos to the team, really, for being able to achieve that number. It's great.
Let's imagine that there's a pothole on my street.
Okay.
And I call 311. I've waited my very short amount of time and I get to speak to an agent. What happens with that call from there?
So the agent will ask you some very specific questions. It's good if you have the location of the pothole and maybe the dimensions. So is it a little pothole or is it something that you could possibly fall into, something that's a little bit larger? The agent will complete the service request. They'll give you your service request number in case you'd like to follow up later on. That service request is then directed over to the correct business unit for them to investigate. Every different type of service that we have has an SLA or a service level agreement time. And that's the amount of time that the business unit has to go out and investigate your concern.
So I'm assuming if it is a dime-sized pothole, it probably won't get fixed as quickly as if it's a crater in the middle of the road, right?
That's correct, yes.
So there's a priority list that happens. Okay.
Yeah, the larger the pothole, usually the faster it will be taken care of.
An app.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit more about the app and how well utilized is that?
The app can be used on any smartphone. When you go in, you can search for the concern that you are looking for, and you can enter the location, you can enter all your details, you can even enter pictures, more than one picture if you want to.
Wow.
Once that concern is completed, then it's sent over to the business unit for investigation. You can even go back to the app to follow up on your concern to see where it's at and if the business unit has been able to investigate yet.
And probably an easy way to keep the reference number too, as opposed to having to write a whole bunch of digits.
Definitely. If you register on the app, then all of your service requests will come up on the app.
Wow. Very, very cool. And can I access the maps and all those other sort of value-added things on the app as well?
So you can see our base layer map on there.
Yeah.
So it'd show like your house and the roads, things like that.
So with 944,000 calls, you must get some loopy ones in there. And I remember hearing of one where this dude phones 311 checking if he's got warrants. And I'm assuming that that's safer than calling the police department to ask the same question.
Yeah. We're a pretty safe phone number for that.
Right? You're pretty safe phone number, period.
Yes. Although we also can't help them with that either.
Right.
We do receive a lot of different types of phone calls like that.
Any stand out for you?
Yes, so definitely. So recently we had a citizen call us and their solar panels weren't working anymore. So they wanted us to recharge them for them, which we don't do.
Well, the sun might help. But.
Yes. We've also had people call in to say, how do I cook a frozen turkey? Like dinner's in 3 hours. We can't really help you with that either, especially for 3 hours. Believe it or not, we've had people, children usually, call in for us to help them with their social studies information or their social studies homework. Like, can you tell me who the Prime Minister of Canada is? One of our best phone calls, though, was the agent was closing the phone call. They had, spoken to the citizen and they said, thank you very much for calling. And the citizen said, I love you too.
Aww.
And they were like, oh, thank you. Sometimes you don't know what to say, but it was an honest mistake. And, we love that. That's part of what makes our citizens and so fun.
So now, not to get people to call you for unnecessary reasons, but I remember hearing the turkey story.
Yes.
And I also remember that the agent actually found some recipes and some tips on how to cook a turkey. Is that right?
They really did. But we can't be responsible for how that turkey turned out.
You never heard back, I guess.
Never heard back.
Nice.
Hopefully everything worked out well.
Nice. Well, Patty, I love having you here. And 311 is such an essential service for the city. Is there anything I forgot to ask you? Anything you'd like to add?
I think maybe citizens will call us and say, oh, so sorry to bother you. But they're not bothering us. That's our job. So please always call us. Please put in a concern on the 311 mobile app. That's what we're there for. We're always happy to hear from citizens. And, when citizens call us, they really make the city of Calgary a better place to live when we can report and fix any concerns that they have.
It really is how society works, isn't it?
It really is.
We each help one another. Well, thank you for the time today.
Excellent. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you for joining us today. As always, we value your feedback. So please reach out to us at calgaryconversations@calgary.ca and tell us what topics you'd like covered and questions you'd like answered. Until next time, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and if you see someone without a smile today, give them yours. Take care.